the Fed, how is the Fed going to manage keeping the economy, I'm going to put my own words a little bit, manage to keep the economy growing at a good pace, keep inflation low. Those are our goals. Our goals, by the way, just I'm going to do my monetary policy pitch, is maximum employment price stability. So that's what our goals are, monetary policy. Basically, a job for everyone who's looking for one, ready for a job. Obviously, keeping prices low, price inflation low and stable. So, what we're going to do over the next, the FOMC, the Monetary Policy Committee, we're going to do what we've been doing as best we can. We're going to find currently we say gradual path of getting monetary policy back to more normal levels. Interest rates are still very low. We've raised them, but they're still at a low level. And our goal here is to keep the economy strong, keep this expansion going as long as possible. That's our job, so that's why I'm focused on it. But also, I think we're in a great position. Unemployment's very low. The economy's got a lot of, I think, good positive signs. And for us, it's just keeping a good balance, keeping this economy strong and stable. We'll be, likely raising interest rates somewhat, but it's really in the context of a very strong economy. And obviously, we're not on a preset course. We'll adjust how we do monetary policy to keep, do our best to keep this economy going strong with low inflation. And I have a sign that says, "Stop talking about monetary policy." Got it.
All right, one more question, please.
Hi, good morning. My name is Greg Richards. I'm the Banana Kelly Community Improvement Association. And you mentioned a couple of times the Community Reinvestment Act, and I wonder if you could speak a little bit, because it's a really important piece of legislation for a place like the Bronx that's been historically redlined. We're concerned that a lot of the investment that has come in doesn't always benefit folks here. Sometimes it can push people out. That's a real strong concern. And that right now we're in this moment where the Office of the Comptroller of Currency has proposed changes to CRA. And I was wondering if you could speak a little bit to how you think CRA could be strengthened in a way that makes sure that a place like the Bronx and folks who live in the Bronx and have had to deal with historic redlining can actually benefit from the type of investment that comes in.
So first of all, I believe that the Community Reinvestment Act, which has now been around for over 40 years, is a really important piece of legislation. Obviously, the Federal Reserve, one of the regulatory bodies that regulates that and holds banks responsible, along with the OCC and FDIC. So it is true that one of the other agencies kind of pushing ahead, thinking about some changes or modernization of the CRA. In the end, the other regulatory agencies all have to be part of that. So so there's nothing's been decided. Obviously, this is a process that's underway of thinking about how could the CRA be improved or changed. Personally, my view is we want to, whatever changes might be made or modernization or however you want to think about it, we have to maintain the fundamental principle is that our financial institutions need to be lending and active in the communities they serve. And that's, I think, the bedrock principle of CRA. So I think whatever changes they have come out of that, we still need to make sure our financial institutions are lending back into the communities that they're in and making sure that credit is available to small businesses, to others across the country. So I think that's just a bedrock principle. The other is I really don't want to see, personally, speaking for myself, CRA weakened in any way. I want to make sure that, if anything, it continues to be an important part of our regulatory environment, our expectations for banks. It's not perfect. You pointed that out already. Others obviously wish it could be even stronger, but I do think it's an important part of what we do, and I take it very seriously. I think it's only a small part of the broader landscape of regulations that require fair lending, obviously consumer protection, and other activities. But I do think it's an important one that we need to make sure it continues. Thanks.
A very informative session. Thank you, President John Williams, for contributing all this information. I'm sure that as soon as you leave this table, you're going to have many questions unless you're quick.
Well, I will also get to enjoy some delicious food in the Bronx, so that's what I'm really looking forward to. So,